Hi, this is Greg McCarty. I'm going to try to do a quick demonstration of using a gate plugin with Cubase 6.5 DAW software. I recorded a vocal here, which you can see I've done some volume tweaking on, and I recorded a guitar track actually using two microphones, so one recording using two mics, so I ended up with two tracks. And what these tracks are single note guitar fills between the vocal lines. So I noticed I heard a lot of hissing between the fills. There's a lot of spaces you can see between these guitar fills. So to get rid of the hiss, I could do two things. I could edit out the blank spots between the fills, which I did a couple of times. But I also thought, after hearing the lesson on gates, that I could maybe use a gate. So that's what I've done. And what I did was I put the two guitar tracks in a folder track, and then I put the folder track in a group track. The advantage of a folder track is you can editing in the folder track, it edits both of these at the same time. So if you split something, it splits them at the same time. That's handy for that. As you can see, I've done some of that already. And then putting it into a group track means that I can use one insert, and it'll for all the tracks within that group track, instead of having to do a different insert for each track. So I chose to use an insert called VST Dynamics. Now, if you look over here, what you do to get an insert in Cubase is you click here, you go down the list of various inserts, and this one is actually called VST Dynamics, and I click on that and that pops up. So I've already done that here, and this is VST Dynamics. Click this little E, it shows you what it is, and actually three plugins in one. It's a gate, it's a compressor, and a limiter all in one. So it's kind of handy for that, just pretty convenient, but they're separate units. So what I needed to do was find out, number one, what kind of attack I needed. And I needed a fast attack because these are guitars, and I can't play the tracks because they just break up on my sound system because my CPU can't handle it all. So I can't play them, unfortunately, but take my word for it. It's a fast attack, so I set that very fast. As you can see, you set the attack here. I said like the fastest attack. The hold, how long it holds once it falls beneath, I think it's once it falls beneath the threshold, how long it holds, although that's kind of confusing because that's release too. But anyway, hold, I put in the middle, 1,000, whatever that means. I'm not sure exactly what hold is. Maybe someone can help me there. And the release, which is how long it takes for it to shut down once it's reached, once the threshold, it goes under the threshold. I wanted to be a fairly long release because I wanted the sustain of the guitar note to continue. So I left it fairly long at 624, and again, I can't unfortunately play it for you. Then the threshold, the way I achieved the threshold was I looked at the quietest guitar fill that I had, which is here at the very right hand side, the very end. This was the quietest one. So because that's quiet and I needed that to come through, I kept playing that over and over again using cycle. Up here in the upper right you can see I used a cycle play, so it kept cycling, and then I kept adjusting the threshold to where I could hear it, where it kicked in, and if I went any higher it wouldn't kick in. So it was a very fine line there, and finally it came to about 27 minus 27 dB. I'm thinking dB, and you can always click like that and actually draw it in if that's convenient. Type it in. I'm not exactly sure about these controls here. Pardon my naivete. Anyway, so that's it. And the gate is activated or deactivated using this button. And again, if I could play it for you, you could really hear the difference, but I can't do that. I also set the compressor using the same threshold. I thought that kind of made sense. So I compressed these tracks as well to make them even and not too loud, not too soft. But I still have a lot of variation in them. And the limiter I didn't use, although I probably could, but I don't think I need to use it for these. Nothing seems to be going over 0. If it does if something goes over 0, then I would use the limiter. So this is really a handy plugin to use. And again, sorry I can't play it for you so you can hear it, but that is using a gate, or using the entire VST Dynamics plugin in Cubase 6.5. And that's going to be it for this one. Thanks very much. The class has been very helpful and really made me focus on some of these things I'd kind of neglected to learn. Bye.